Good morning. Ooh, that was very loud. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Have their seats. It's a little warm today, so we're gonna try to stay in the shade. Here we get the mayor and commissioners. Ready? Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. We're gonna take their seats, please. We'll go ahead and get started. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Friday in a warm Miami Beach as we officially open the new and improved Brittany Bay Park. I'm Dexter Peralta. I'm the Neighborhood Affairs Coordinator and your host for today. I would like to introduce and welcome our elected and city officials, our guests, and our directors. We have from the city, Mayor Dan Gelber, Commissioner Fernandez, Commissioner Richardson, and I believe Commissioner Dominguez is on her way. I know we're dealing with Miami Beach traffic. Uh, that bridge gets you. We welcome as well as our Madam City Manager, Lena Hudak. From our Congresswoman's office, Lisa Hogan from Congresswoman Federico Wilson's office, and Maggie Workhelm from Congresswoman Salazar's office. We just spoke. I'm trying to place her. A special welcome and thank you to our partners from the Nature Conservancy's Director of Strategy and Policy, James Byrne, and from Florida Power and Light Company's Sustainability and Environmental Services Outreach Manager, Meredith Rollo. Both of whom have been instrumental in renovating Brittany Bay Park and working with us to become a more resilient and sustainable city. We're also joined by David Martinez, our CIP Capital Improvements Project, director, whose team led this project. By Maria Hernandez, I believe, from our GeoBond director. Amy Knowles, our Chief Resiliency Officer and Director of Environmental and Sustainability. John Rebarts, our Parks and Recreation Director. And a special thank you to Florida Construction and Engineering for who made the renovations of Brittany Bay Park possible and assisted with today's event. So without further ado, it's a little warm, Mr. Mayor, so we'll go and get started with you. Yes.
Boy, what a wonderful morning. Good morning. You know, I love park openings. Everybody has a uniform, or cops are here in their uniforms. Thank you guys for coming. Chief, thank you. This is I wear these shirts. This is my park opening uniform because I think it's so great to be able to do that. And I really want to begin. I know they've been thanked. I want to thank my commissioners. I know Laura will be here in a second. She got stuck at the bridge, but Commissioner Richardson, Commissioner Fernandez, all of our commissioners love parks, and our city has put an immense amount of its resources and time into parks. I was talking to a resident a moment ago who lives over there who was not happy because he said, well, there's this beautiful park on Collins Avenue, and now there's this amazingly beautiful park here. I will not know which park to go to when I get up in the morning and have to decide. And if the worst decision, if the hardest decision a Miami Beach resident has to make is to which beautiful park they need to walk to, well, then we've done a great job, Alina. Thank you. I want to begin by just saying that this, the $2.8 million that came from the GeoBond, and is Maria here somewhere? Well, okay, the GeoBond Oversight Committee and the GeoBond folks that work under Maria, I want to thank you all. This is a GeoBond project, $2.8 million. It's called a renovation, but the truth is it's a new park. You can see almost everything in here is new, the new trees, the new pathways, this beautiful living shoreline, the new athletic equipment. Everything here is new and beautiful, and this is what our residents want. And frankly, we are a city, like a lot of cities, that are struggling with sea level rise. But for us, the issue isn't how we're going to handle it. The issue for us is how we're going to take a challenge and turn it into a positive. And this park is a great example, and I want to thank FP&L and the Nature Conservancy for their efforts, because that's what they try to do. They try to take our environment and challenge themselves to figure out how do we make it into something special and even more special. And this park is really quite amazing. I think of all the moments people are going to have here, the families and things like that. It's very exciting. By the way, we have 2 more parks are opening up very soon in the next 2 months. North Shore Open Space Part 1 and Part 2 are opening up, and I think we're going to groundbreak at Bayshore. Is that right? So that's a lot of acreage of new park in a city that's 7.5 miles. Did I get that right, Alina? Yeah. So Yeah, it's all pretty exciting to me, but for me as the mayor and I think as the commissioners, I just want to say thank you to the people who did the hard work to make this happen. And I'm going to, even though they've been thanked, I want to thank them again. The GeoBond Obvious team, David Martinez and CIP. David, thank you very much, and thank you to all your folks. I know they love this. I know John Rebar. Where's John? You're back there. John Rebar is our parks team. We have really an amazing parks department, and John does such a great job working also with David and the other folks to make this happen. Thank you, John. Give him an applause because he's the one that does the three-point line, moves it in for me on our basketball court so I can still hit it. Thank you for making that three-point line 8 feet. It's been very helpful to me. Amy Knowles and the environmental team. And Laura's here. Laura, I told everybody it was a bridge and a trash hauler, but she hates to miss things. So thank you very much, and thanks for allowing us to begin. You know, Amy Knowles and her environmental team, our city is on the cutting edge of how you deal with climate change, and this park is a working example of it. Our residents wanted us to do this, and we figured out how to do it just the right way, and I think people are going to love it. So with that, I just want to say that, listen, coastal communities around the world are going to look at what we do here, and when they see something like this, they're going to say, we want to be like Miami Beach, and I think that's what we're aiming for. And it doesn't happen without leadership from the top. So it's really my great pleasure to introduce the greatest living city manager in the world. Is that enough, or should I go more than that? In the universe. No, and I really, Alina, you have so much going on. We are not a city that we may only be 90,000 people, but the amount of projects we have simultaneously is incredible. Any one of these projects in a city our size would be the biggest thing they do an entire year. She's got another one or two next week and the week after, and some we don't even do ribbon cuttings on just because we just can't have this much ribbon cutting going on. So thank you, Alina, and thank you for all you do.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for your support to our commission, Commissioners Richardson, Commissioner Fernandez, Commissioner Dominguez. Thank you for always being with us and supporting us. You know, my role as city manager, and I don't want to be repetitive, I think the mayor did an outstanding job of describing the project and what it represents, but we all know that when we were here for the groundbreaking, we were sweating to death. There was no shade, there was nothing. And to be here today and to see the canopy, to see the beauty of what this has become for our city and what it's going to represent to our city, I hope that everyone takes the time after we're done, you know, to walk down the path and see the beautiful overlook. That's my favorite part of this park. It is just a spectacular morning for us. It's been a very busy week, so it's wonderful to end our Friday here together, enjoying the beauty of what is Miami Beach. And this is a really good example of what we represent as a city. It's about partnerships, partnership with the private sector, with the nonprofit world. Thank you very much to Florida Power and Light. Thank you to the Nature Conservancy. But it's also a partnership amongst our own city staff. Our CIP director, David Martinez, and his team did a fabulous job of getting this done. This is a project that required a significant amount of regulatory, environmentally, you know, challenging regulatory things that had to be accomplished. And so thank you very much, David, to you and your team. I'm really proud of all the projects that you're working on and how, you know, we're finally in the ground. And we're going to see so many things happening over the next year. So congratulations to you and your team. Amy and your team and what the role that you played in being a consultant to this program to a certain extent and really keeping front and center the importance of resiliency, the importance of making sure that everything that we're building and everything that we're doing represents the core values of our city. So thank you, Amy, Lindsay, all of you. You're such an integral and important part of our team. Maria is not here, but I know her team is here. And Maria, and you know, she's challenged now not only with the existing GOB, but with the arts and culture GOB and everything we're about to do for our great and beautiful city. An enormous amount of work that has to be done to be able to get these projects in the ground. So I'm really proud of that team as well. Thank you again, all of you, for being here this morning. Thank you for sharing our vision, and certainly hope that the residents that are here get the beauty and the benefit of enjoying this park forever in time. It's my honor to be able to introduce James Byrne, the Director of Policy and Strategy at the Nature Conservative. James, thank you so much for your partnership and what you represent to our city, and we hope this is only the beginning of many more. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Gelber. And city manager, and all of you at the City of Miami Beach. It is great to see the effort here that's been going on. For me personally, as a former Miami Beach resident, it's great to be here, and I'm really honored to be a part of this project and see it happen. The Nature Conservancy is very proud to have partnered with Florida Power and Light, as well as the City of Miami Beach, in this wonderful park, and be able to see how we can bring in nature into the city environment and be able to address some of the challenges we're facing with climate change, and be able to bring in native plants and mangroves and plant these in right here next to it, to be able to look at how nature can come in and actually help us address the challenges of sea level rise. This park is a beautiful place, and it's a great example of that, and it's great to see all the accessibility that's been built into it too, so all the residents of Miami Beach can come here and really experience it. And I'm looking forward to exploring it a little bit more today with all of you, as well as seeing it more firsthand. I do want to say a couple of other things that are really important to think of this. This is a great example of that partnership we heard about, of bringing in private industry, nonprofits, government, as well as including the community in this, and be able to have a result that is going to be a marquee example of this type of work that can be done anywhere in the city, Miami Beach, but also globally. This is a great example for cities that are dealing with sea level rise and the impacts of climate change, and this is going to be a centerpiece for that. And just congratulations on such a beautiful project and a beautiful park. It's been a great pleasure to be a part of it. I'm really proud of the accomplishments we've been able to do with this. I do want to thank all of you, and just remember that we need to keep our eye on addressing these challenges as we go. As the mayor said, I thought it was a great example, is we look at these as opportunities. There's opportunities to create something new and address these challenges that we have, and this is a perfect example of that. And we cannot do it without the partnerships, both with the city, with the community, and with our next speaker, who I'll introduce, Meredith Roll, who's with Florida Power and Light, who gave us a grant to actually help with this and help us design this work. And it's a great example of bringing in the different partners. So with that, I'll have Meredith come up. Thank you, Meredith.
Thank you. What a beautiful morning. I'm Meredith Rollo, Environmental Services Manager for Florida Power and Light, and I've had the privilege to watch this project from the very beginning. I was here for the groundbreaking a year and a half ago. Me and about 25 other FPLers and city staff and the Nature Conservancy were here in August planting that living shoreline. It was very hot, it was very dirty, but it was an amazing experience. And I haven't been back since, and here I am today to celebrate with you the ribbon cutting. And it's so amazing to see the park. We really didn't know what it was going to look like. We really didn't know the grasp of how amazing that living shoreline was going to be, and it's so awesome to be here and to be with you all to celebrate. At FPL, we're committed to delivering America's best energy value, electricity that is not only the cleanest and most reliable, among the cleanest and most reliable in the country, but also at the lowest possible cost. But we also are committed to working with communities throughout Florida to make it a better place to live, work, and raise a family. And this park is an example of that. And we also know that we are so fortunate to live in this beautiful state, and with, like you, understand that protecting the environment is a responsibility that we all share. And that's why environmental stewardship is ingrained in FPL's culture, and it's been a driving force on our conservation efforts for decades. And everyone who has spoke before me has mentioned about the partnerships. And so this partnership, this is a shining example about how companies, environmental organizations, and governmental agencies can work together to create solutions to move our communities forward. This project did not happen overnight. So many people have been involved, but it's a culmination of long-standing partnerships between the Nature Conservancy, the City of Miami Beach, and many others to bring this park to a reality. So we have been so proud to be a part of this. We look forward to seeing the benefits to the residents and the visitors that come here to Miami, and also to see the protection that this provides the park and Brittany Bay Park. And with that, we are so excited to help ribbon cut and celebrate today. And I will introduce David Martinez, CIP Director.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you for coming. I could sit here and tell you that I would love to take credit for this park and what has turned out, but as was discussed before, this is a major collaborative effort between a lot of stakeholders. Begins with the residents of this city, continues with our fantastic mayor and commission, my boss, city manager, and every other department, as well as all the outside agencies that have been spoken for. It doesn't happen any other way that with everybody involved, with my staff walking hand in hand with parks and recreational staff, looking at pretty much every blade of grass and every leaf to make sure that everything is as best as it can be. Other folks helping control iguanas that are eating the mangroves. But you know what? It always ends up a beautiful project. I was telling somebody that I can barely remember coming out here when this wasn't this way, and I can't even think of what it looked like before. It looks like just something that just sprouted out of Collins, and that didn't exist before. So it is tremendous. I want to point out we talk about resiliency and all that, and a lot of folks don't really understand what a living shoreline really means. But if you look to my right and you see the wall that starts to come up, that basically is a seat, right? So that it's a bench so that folks can sit and enjoy the view and the water and the park. That is actually the seawall. That wall is the seawall. It begins here. You can see it as it jogs past the ribbon, and then it continues. That's the seawall right there. So everything towards the water is intended to be inundated over time, but yet protect the road, protect the park, protect all the condominiums and hotels. So that's the part that some folks don't understand. So what we do now at the very beginning is we install this area here that's, again, where all the riprap is installed that has the mangroves. That's going to be wet and dry with the tides as they continue to go. It'll grow mangroves to protect the shoreline even further and protect against erosion. So that's what a living shoreline does. And I'm super excited to have this one completed, and incredibly excited to be performing a similar one at Maurice Gift Park that we already broke ground. That's going to be our third one. So it's very exciting. And again, you've all seen all the other improvement. Everything here is new. Everything is new. I will tell you again, as I always do, I really want to thank my staff. They live at this park. They come out here weekly, meet with the contractor, meet with departments to sort out through all the issues. The project management team of Colette Satchel and Kelly Rodriguez has worked tirelessly with the contractor and the consultant to get this to be what it is. I want to thank them tremendously from the bottom of my heart for their work. I would be remiss not to also thank the rest of the staff that supports this, David Gomez and Maria Serna, my division directors, Gloria Salom, the office associate, Jean Garcon, and Francisco Torrens, the CIP inspectors that come out here. So thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Sticking through this is great. And thank you to the contractor, Florida Construction Engineering, and to Brindley Peters and Associates, our consultant on the project. So with that, thank you so much. I'm going to turn it over to Dexter so we can go cut the ribbon. So thank you so much.
Thank you, David. Thank you. And before we do, I know it's a little warm, so on a personal note, Brittany Bay Park is the very first park I've had the pleasure of working on from beginning to end since I joined the city. And I would like to personally thank, I know we already have, but Colette Satchel, she's the senior project manager, and as well as Kelly Rodriguez, the project manager from our CIP department, who have worked with me on not only creating this park, but also improving the North Beach community which we serve. And with that, we have the giant scissors ready to go, Mr. Mayor, and we can go cut a ribbon.